It's time for the Big Reds. It's time for Big Red football. Let's bring on the Big Reds.
Yeah.
And you can just hear the intensity in the crowd as they love their Big Reds.
Very much so. Very loud, as always.
The intensity is always here. Up in the booth, it's always intense. Down there on the field, in the stands, a very great venue to play football. I don't know about you, but I am very pumped, for lack of a better word, to be broadcasting this game. And so, really, it should be a good game as Cabell Midland will receive the ball. And so, Carter Rice is this year's Big Red Indian. I know how much of a hard worker he is on and off the field. He really puts in a type of dedication. I mean, really, you couldn't ask for a better person to be this year's mascot.
He is also the editor of the Parkersburg.
And a very interesting tidbit of information, and you can really tell by that he is very well respected by his peers, his teachers, and honestly, football is a big part of the culture here at Parkersburg High School. And we are getting ready for the opening kickoff. And Andrea, what do you predict here in this game? What do you think will happen?
Well, I think they're going to both rely very much on the run game. PHS has got to step up that passing game. Their quarterback has been injured, so they got to step it up.
And so with Santer injured prior to the Brook game, Aaron Roberts made his debut. And here we are, Roney with the kickoff. In the end zone for a touchback. And Cabell Midland will start off at the 20-yard line.
Yep.
Roney's kick goes into the end zone with the automatic touchback.
So Cody Roney, an interesting game as he missed a PAT during the Brook contest, and he rarely ever misses. The special teams will also be a very big contributor of really how this offense runs. So now
On the field for the very first play.
Brook running with a
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. It looks like a false start. We will wait for confirmation.
A dead ball.
False start on the offense.
And so 5 yards, and that will back them up to the 15. And so Cabell Midland was running with a man in motion, as they could have been setting up a blocker with the man in motion. Looked like a tight end coming over.
Miscommunication.
So now a lone back set, handoff to the running back, and he will get stood up.
Second down. Cabell Midland.
And Tyler is the ball carrier. Brought down by Adam Lindemood.
Loss of one on the play.
As really, you don't get a lot of versatile players really at this level like Adam Lindemood, as he can play both sides of the ball and very versatile.
Flag on the play.
Another penalty. So what are your thoughts on this early miscommunication for the Knights?
Well, the crowd could be a contributor. False start again.
So another one, and
that would make 3rd and 21.
Third down and about a mile. Second down, as the referee slipped up, and I guess we did as well, as we are only human. But it is now second down and 21 at the 9, and that is certainly not how you want to start the game. So now another lone back set.
Handoff for a short game. 4th down. Expect them to punt here.
Farley, the ball carrier.
And Farley was the ball carrier as he stood up. and only a gain of 3 as the Knights have all of a sudden amassed negative 8 yards on this opening drive. 3rd down and 18, most definitely a passing situation. So man in motion with the end around, and there will be a 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down.
Dennis, ball carrier.
Dennis, the ball carrier,
Initial hit. Terrell.
and Skylar Terrell, who made a game-sealing interception against Brook last week, comes up with the tackle.
4th down and 9.
And so 4th down and 9
Expect them to punt.
21.
as they get back on the positive part of the
38,
drive
Skylar
here with
Terrell back deep.
1 yard in that drive, and Skylar Terrell will be back to receive the punt, as Matthews will be the punter. Snap is good. And a pooch punt as it will be fielded at about the 45, and it looks as if it was
Brought down
lost.
immediately.
He really did not have a lot to work with as he lost 2 yards.
Tripped up by number 22.
And so he was
Cameron Stapleton.
ripped up
Big Reds take over
by
1st
number
and 10.
22,
Ball spotted at their own
Cameron
33.
Stapleton. So the Big Reds have a relatively short field to work with. He read my mind. And 57 yards to go for 6. And so shotgun formation. Man in motion for the Big Reds.
And it is a pass.
Roberts
Incomplete pass.
overthrows
Roberts
the
pass.
intended receiver.
Intended for Cameron McCoy.
Intended for Cameron McCoy. And honestly, if you want to make it as a quarterback in these higher levels, such as high school, you really must work on your mechanics and getting the ball down in the correct spot. So Lindemood in the backfield. Roberts will hand off to Lindemood, and he will be stood up. And it looks like things were getting a bit chippy down there.
Good on the initial hit for Midland.
And so Bird is on the hit.
Big Reds.
3rd down and 11.
Off Big Reds 42.
And so what do you expect Cabell Midland to do here on 3rd down and long?
I expect them just to cover, keep the ball in.
And now Roberts scrambling. He will not
Incomplete pass on the play.
find the intended receiver.
Pass intended for Skylar Terrell.
Skylar Terrell
Broken up by Childers.
The
had
intended.
the ball
4th down.
broken up by Childers. So now on this 4th down,
And they are forced to punt.
Number 17, Kyle Foster. Back to punt for the Big Reds.
and so really, what are your expectations for Cabell Midland after seeing the opening drive?
Well, I expect them to just. It was just the first drive. They probably stick to their game plan for now.
So snap and kick is good. It'll be fielded at about the 13-yard line. He's got a
And
seam,
He's
and he is
he's
tripped
brought
up at
down-
the very end.
Kansas returns the
at
punt.
30, around 30.
Brought down by Cameron McCoy.
And Cameron McCoy, you have a lot of versatile players on this team that can make their presences felt, such as Cameron McCoy, Skylar Terrell, Adam Lindemood, just to name a few.
Ball spotted at their own 32.
And so with the ball at the 32, the Knights have significantly better field position than they did on their first drive. Man in motion, and they will hand off to the man in motion. That looks like number 3. And he is brought down at about the 40-yard line.
Matthews, ball carrier.
Stephen Matthews, rather, was the ball carrier.
Brown on the initial hit for the Big Reds.
Gain of 8.
2nd down and 2.
Brown
And
was on the
Cabell
hit.
Midland 40.
And so now at the 40-yard line, seems like a work in progress. And now Cabell Midland finally works the kinks as it is a handoff.
And
Farley, the ball carrier.
Farley, the ball carrier. So Lowell Farley has a gain of 4 and a first down.
From the Midland 44-yard line.
And so really looking at the first downs allowed by PHS.
22 Brook first downs and 34 points.
And so pass rush and
He is sacked on the play
down at the 40.
by Adam Lindenmood.
Bennett, the ball carrier. Brought down by Hoyler.
And so Bennett brought down by Hoyler, rather. Pettit, excuse me, rather. As Theodore Pettit will now hand off.
Okay. Brought down after a short game.
It looks like Terrell on the tackle again.
Goodness. The ball carrier.
And Goidos on the carry.
Hoyler with the stop.
And so that was Lance Hoyler again on the stop, rather.
Cabell Midland 42.
So third down and long at the 42-yard line.
And it is pass, which is caught, brought down around the 50 by Stephen Matthews.
And so midfield,
Pass complete to Matthews.
a great play as the quarterback really is very gifted to have that ability to throw when he's being rolled out of the pocket. As Theodore Pettit is being touted as one of the better quarterbacks in AAA.
Off the Midland 49-yard
4th and
line.
4. See what they decide to do here.
So 4th and 4. I don't understand why you would not throw to these sticks in order to get to the first down, but it does not matter.
Because
as
they are
Cabell
going
Midland
for
will go
it.
for it. Man in motion. And looks
Flag
like
on
a
the play.
timeout.
Timeout, Cabell Midland.
Cabell Midland, and that is their first of the half.
Timeout. Ugh. Mistake.
And it looks like Coach Salmons, Luke Salmons, is not happy with his offensive unit. And really coming out of a timeout, I honestly believe it was to make the defense flinch in order to get them a free first down. Honestly, what should Cabell Midland do in this situation?
Well, I say they punt because you get a turnover in 4th and 4 would be pretty bad.
Next Thursday, the Big Red Boys will host Cabell.
Put Big Reds in
The
pretty good.
Big Red cross country team is at
position.
Cabell Midland for the Geico Invitational.
And so play resumes. 4th and 4, and it looks like Cabell
They're
Midland
still going
is
to go
stick
for
to
it.
their guns. Handoff, the end round.
Number
and
3, and it looks like he's easily got the
number
first
3,
down.
Matthews has the first down across the 50, all the way to the 42-yard line. And wow, that's just the price you pay as a defense whenever an offense gets gutsy and makes a rather split decision whether to go for it or not to. And honestly, I'm a bit surprised at the aggressive play calling this early in the game.
Handoff.
And so a handoff to
And he
Goidos,
is
and
gone.
Goidos is going to get close to red zone, down to the 22. A 20-yard gain for David Goidos.
Brought down by Ethan Bussey.
Ethan Bussey, the senior on the tackle.
First and 10, Cabell Midland. Off the Big Red
So
22.
that sets up a first down. They keep with the same formation.
About a 9-yard gain on the play.
So
Farley, the ball carrier.
Caleb Barley, the ball carrier, a gain of 8.
Chase Shank on the stop for the Big Reds.
And Chase Shank is on the stop for the Big Reds. And honestly, what adjustments should this front line of PHS do? As
run blitz.
As the ball carrier will not go down, as that was Goitos again.
Brought down by Terrell.
Terrell on the stop. 2nd down and 3 in the 13 at the 13-yard line of Parkersburg.
Ball spotted at the Big Red's 13-yard line.
At the 13, and really that was a major concern of Don Reeves, the head coach of the Parkersburg Big Reds, is they will actually
Timeout for the officials.
have a measurement to find out where to spot the ball. And as I was saying, that was a very big concern of Don Reeves, really being able to stop
The run game.
the run game, and it looks like the ball will come up just a bit short of the chains,
It's going to be
and
third down and 1.
it will be 3rd down and short.
Inside the red zone.
And so 3rd down and just inches. And Gatos is back there in the backfield for Midland, but I do not agree with having him all the way at the 19-yard line, having to pick up enough to go to the 12. That makes it unnecessary to pick up 7 yards when you only need to pick up 1. But I am not a coach, therefore I don't know. Man in motion, and a
Flag on
flag.
the play.
Dead ball. False start.
False start on the offense.
Just on that.
So 5 yards will back them up, about 3rd down and 5, 6 maybe. And Lance Hoyler,
Down and 6 for
I hate to break the attention away from the game on the field, but he is being stretched out on the table on the sideline. See what kind of effect that has on the ball game. Obviously, the Big Reds have dealt with injuries before. And so quarterback draw.
And down inside the 5.
So 1st and goal. Matthews on the carry.
Mercy on the stop.
That was rather the running back, excuse me.
Gain of 14
Stephen
on the
Matthews, gain of
play.
14.
First and goal for Cabell Midland. Ball at the Big Red's 4-yard line.
And so I would be looking for maybe the corners to come in. They have not passed the ball this whole time, and obviously I do not expect them to. And a run and a
Touchdown, Cabell Midland.
A touchdown, Stephen Matthews. First points on the board, reservations for 6. And so the Brook-Parkersburg game last week was going back and forth with offensive answers left and right, as the Spring Valley Cabell Midland game was mainly controlled by that powerful defense and running game of Cabell Midland.
Now for the point after attempt. Make this 7-point game.
Snap is good. Hold a bit botched. Kick is up and
it is
good.
good.
Conversion attempt is good. At 4:06 in the first quarter, Cabell Midland 7, Parkersburg 0.
And so that scoring drive really must have taken a lot out of that defense, as they were primed and ready to go early on. This is kind of a strategy that Coach Salmons said that the offense would try to run a kind of hurry up, ground and pound type approach. And so now
And
a score update. Parkersburg South 19 and
Lindsley 7.
Lindsley 7. As we will be watching that game, and many more as they will be announced over the PA system. And so now Cabell Midland getting ready for their first kickoff of this game. And so Christopher Molina will kick off. Looks like Hamilton is back deep. But instead the ball is taken
By number 38.
And so he's able to. And so Skylar Terrell, special teams.
There's a flag on the play.
So it looks like a block in the back or maybe a holding call. I did not quite see where there was a penalty of that sort, but barring a penalty, the Big Reds will have salvaged.
Face mask.
So wow, 4 penalties already for the Cabell Midland Knights. 3 false starts. We really thought they had that under control after the touchdown by Matthews. But a face mask moves up to the 25-yard line.
Shotgun.
Shotgun, he will.
Caught by number 12 and fumble. Oh, no.
And no, his knee was down.
Should be first down on the play.
And Cameron McCoy, really an all-purpose yards type player with about a 10-yard gain. That is enough for a first down. And so really, now we are finally seeing a passing approach as there is an I formation. 2 wide receivers. As Lindemood will try to truck through defenders as he is brought down by a host of Knights.
In the backfield.
So second down and 11 after the run at the 34-yard line, and that is very deflating to have a positive play such as the 10-yard reception and then have it pretty deflated by the loss of 1. Roberts.
Play action.
Play action, and will miss Terrell the throw. And so honestly, the play action, I formation, really the running game, really anything to get players mobile and really to get into this game is what the Big Reds are looking for. And so Lance Hoyler again hobbling off the field. We will take a look at that. Roberts, a screen pass in the flats. As that will definitely not be enough. I do not understand that. You did not throw it anywhere near the sticks. About a 1.5-yard, 3-yard gain rather. I don't understand it. I honestly do not understand it. Maybe it's opening game jitters in front of your home crowd, but really there's no excuse for rather horrid play calling.
His first start too.
Actually, Roberts' second start. And so that ball looks like it will, ow, wow, it is actually taken. And Terrell is down there on the other side of the field. No, it looks like Hamilton is down there on the other side of the field. An excellent kick, an excellent defensive play, and it will be first down for the Knights inside the 10-yard line. And Chandler Hamilton, the backup running back to Adam Lindemood. He ran 5 times for 90 yards, including a 52-yard score. And so inside the 10-yard line, actually no, inside the 5 to the 2.
A long way to go.
And so with 2:42 to go in this first quarter, there's still 7-0 in favor of the Knights. And so there will be a run, and it's wide open. He's got room to the 40, 45, 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10,
and
5.
Score.
Touchdown. And Farley is in the end zone for the Knights. A 98-yard run. And it looks as if the secondary for the Big Reds was split wide open as multiple Big Red defenders were burned on that play. 98 yards. DJ Carroza is coming in on special teams for the Big Reds. So extra point. Good snap and another flag. As Molina's kick will not be counted, barring an offensive penalty. This would be the 5th penalty.
Equipment violation. On the offense.
And an equipment violation.
Back them up 5 yards.
I am not sure how that came about. In a rather odd circumstance, backs them up 5 yards. Now a bit more challenging kick. Molina's kick is now up and good.
Conversion attempt is good.
Cabell leads 14-0.
And so with 2:27 to go, you said it all. No offense for Parkersburg. And honestly, the Knights, Coach Sammons was not kidding around when he said that he thought this running game could compete pound for pound with the dual threat of the Big Reds. And so that scoring drive will make it 14-0. And so what do you expect, Andrea, to come out of this drive for the Big Reds as they came up empty on their last one?
Well, I expect more passing. 14-0 first quarter.
Honestly, it's early, but 14-0 is a deficit you can come back from.
Yes.
You might remember the Brook game. They were able to come back from a 3rd quarter deficit in the 4th quarter and end up winning, as that ball will be kicked in the back of the end zone, touchback. And the Big Reds will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20. And so Aaron Roberts is now coming out yet again. And so honestly, I do have to agree with you in a sense. Really, throwing the ball 12 times in a game, 9 of 12 for 102 yards, that will not help out Aaron Roberts at all, as it looks like an offset I formation. And so in a sense, I do have to agree with you as the ball Lindemood
For a short game. Around 3 yards.
And so if you look at the Big Reds' schedule, they will be traveling to Marietta, as that revival of the rivalry in years past has gone to the Big Reds. So if they are able to learn a few things from this, starting off slow, they will be able to regroup at Marietta. But there's still time here. Shotgun formation. Roberts will roll out to his left.
And it is caught.
And a nice catch by Dan Fox.
Plenty enough for a first down.
Complete number 1, Daniel Fox.
And Daniel Fox, a sophomore,
First and 10 for the Big Reds.
and a 10-yard gain. And I believe Coach Reeves was talking about the 5 sophomores he had out on the field. Daniel Fox was one of them. And so really, as a team that's really looking to rebuild after injuries, you would think playing as many players as you can would help you get ready. And so a flag on the play. Play will continue as Lindemood is tripped up at about midfield.
Looks like a 16-yard gain.
Flag on the play.
And so this one might be coming back. Might be a holding call. And yes, the referee is signifying an illegal formation and a 5-yard penalty. That is so frustrating, having to deal with unexpected penalties, and illegal formation, equipment violation, holding, face mask. I mean, we've seen just about everything, and now the ball is backed up
Ball spotted just inside their own 30.
at about the 30-yard line with 1.5 minutes to go. So Skylar Terrell now coming in on offense for the Big Reds. So Lindemood in the backfield. Snap will go to Roberts.
He rolls out. And
The ball is
pass
tipped by number 13, Joshua Cox. And honestly, bringing the pass rush or the big arms of those defenders, that's really what you look for in such a heavily contested game like this. You bring your all, for lack of a better word, for these very intense games on the road. I know that Cabell Midland has played on just about any surface, as they have turf on their home field. They've played in grass, they've played in mud. Really, this is not anything new for the Cabell Midland Knights. Lone man set.
Play action. He's going deep.
As Roberts is clobbered and the ball is overthrown. Fox was the intended receiver, and Roberts was just rocked. And so that is the consequence when you have a play action pass along with a very heavily contested blitz by the defense. Because the key to that, the linemen are looking to contain everyone. And as you're rolling out, the defense has more time to react, which causes a big hit. Offset I formation. Roberts will take the snap, hand off to Lindemood as he will get stood up at about the 40-yard line.
Well short of the first down.
And so Hayes was the defender who brought him down, and yet again, I do not understand this. A nice gain, but
Running on 3rd and long.
I don't understand. And if you're going to run, have the sense that you're going to have to run to the sticks. You have to know where the sticks are. So now another punt.
And it is a long one.
A long one is this one.
Is
downed at the 1-yard line.
By 32, Chandler Hamilton.
And Hamilton yet again, another spectacular play. So now at the 1, if you'll remember, Hamilton had a great stop on the return man on the last drive. But one play later, the first play from scrimmage of that drive, 98 yards the other way. And the offensive line for Cabell Midland did a fantastic job of creating the blocks and the separation that the ball carrier needed. So it's going to be a run. And he stood up by Austin Brown, it looks like.
On the 1.
And that's a bit risky. Running it basically inside your own end zone. Davis was a ball carrier, and it was Austin Brown on the hit. Second down and 9, at about the 2-yard line. So now the ball is handed off.
And yet another run. He is way.
And Stephen Matthews, another good run.
But down around the 23.
If you'll remember, the first score of the game was Stephen Matthews on a nice run play straight up into the defense. And at the end of the first quarter, your score, Parkersburg High School 0, Cabell Midland 14. I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. And Andrea, what were your impressions of that first half?
Well, Cabell Midland's running it down their throats.
Yes, for lack of better words. Wow, you're taking a page out of my playbook here. Wow, okay. Honestly, no passes here, as it has been 100% running. And who's to argue with the Knights offensive coordinator and head coach is, well, if it works for you, keep doing it again and again and again. Ground and pound. Just spectacular display of blocking. Honestly, the unsung heroes of this contest, the offensive linemen, are the major stars of this game, if we are not including the ground attack from Matthews and Farley. So now the ball is set up at the 25-yard line as there's a man in motion, a pitch to Gatos, and he has a nice lane and is finally brought down by Corey Burdett, another one of those sophomores.
We're on the 40-yard line.
Gatos will, yes, be brought down at the 40-yard line, and yet again, another Cabell Midland first down. And this is honestly hard to watch. I'm at a loss for words, but
and
now
another
flag on the play as there's a nice run up the middle, and this one might be coming back. So McCoy was on the hit, and it is a holding call on the offense. So the Big Reds had a run similar to that as Adam Lindemood was running the ball in that instance. And the play was brought back, and now Cabell Midland has the same thing happen to them. So a first down at 18. And so shotgun formation. Oh no. Lone back set.
It's
You're
caught.
right out, and it's caught. Oh, it's fumbled,
Fumbled.
and it looks like it's recovered, luckily, by the Knights. Gatos is on the initial reception as the fumble was recovered by number 84, Nathaniel Moore. And honestly, if you look at the other unsung heroes of this offense, Nathaniel Moore, he really was not utilized a lot in the win over Spring Valley. But he is there, and he is definitely a leader at times. Man in motion as they will hand off to
And
number
looks like
3. Matthews will be brought down at about the 15.
Inside the red zone.
And so yes, the first time in the red zone. The second time in the red zone, excuse me, as they were able to punch it in there last time with Matthews during their first attempt in the red zone. And so 1-1 is a great accomplishment. Let's see if they can go 2 for 2. Offensive line was bunched in tight as it's ran. And about the 5-yard line. Farley, the ball carrier, the 3-yard line rather, and that will
be first and goal.
First and goal. And they move him back to the 5-yard line.
Meet Officer Miller at your vehicle.
And so after that, it will be first and goal at the 5-yard line with about 10.5 minutes to go. Handoff and a touchdown. Yet again, and it has been a blowout as Gatos now has a touchdown to match the efforts of Farley and Matthews and a 3-headed monster. Wow, this is an outstanding effort by that offensive line and really a ginormous running attack. The offensive line really has set the tone, and the defense of the Big Reds, rather daunting, has no answer. I have not seen them like this. And the extra point, snap down, kick up, and good. 21-0. With 10:19 to go in the half. Like I said before, the score, you are not hearing things. It is 21-0, Cabell Midland. And what plays stood out to you on that drive, Andrea?
Well, the big run by that was called back for a penalty, and then a throw that went down the field to about the 40.
And so that is a prime example of overcoming adversity, a run that is called back, and then a pass recovered by Nathaniel Moore after it was fumbled. And so really, you know you're a good team if you can overcome your own shortcomings. And so I have a feeling that Christopher Molino will get tired of his kicking off thing. I honestly believe that the Big Reds have no answer right now, and this is
Ugly.
very tough to watch rather than ugly, because there's still hope in the end zone for a touchback. And if you will remember, the ball is kicked in the end zone. The return man cannot return it whenever the ball is kicked in the end zone, so a touchback. And so I would not call it ugly yet. There's still hope. The Big Reds have overcome margins, certainly no margins like this. It's honestly a learning experience for the veterans to collaborate with the new starters here after injuries. A blitz looks like it's coming. Cabell Midland, as both the offense and the defense are bunched in tight pass rush. Play action pass and a spectacular catch. And Corey Burdett was on a great catch. The ball was placed a bit high, but Aaron Roberts was able to get bailed out, and it will be a first down. And so it was about time the Big Red crowd had something to cheer for. And so here it is. This might be an establishing play as Roberts is in the shotgun. Looks like another blitz might be coming. And it is indeed. He rolls out to his right, passes incomplete, nowhere near the intended receiver. Skylar Terrell was his intended receiver, nowhere near. And so 9:47 to go in the half. It will be second down and 10, the 38-yard line. And Andrea, what do you think can get this team going on offense?
Crowd will play a big factor. Maybe a pass, more accurate pass.
Or a big play of sorts. Perhaps one maybe like this, as Roberts will throw. And it is
Complete. Oh, incomplete.
It is indeed incomplete. Intended for McCoy's. It looked like he had it. And he did not. And so now, a third down. And so maybe they might be looking for a wheel route where the running back runs up the sideline and a big throw or something over the middle.
Maybe
But play is stopped.
Timeout, Big Reds.
And the Big Reds have used their first timeout in the half. Both teams have 2 remaining. And so you can tell by the mannerisms of Coach Reeves, he is not very happy. What do you think he'd be saying as he is chewing out those players?
I honestly don't.
And it looks by his mannerisms, he's saying, get your head up, really get involved. Really, I can't really account for any other things he might be saying, but honestly, his speech to them right now, salvage what you can of this half. I mean, we can come out strong, finish strong, you know what's at stake. And so what do you think of Cabell Midland's defense so far, Andrea O'Brien?
Well, it looks pretty good to me. Able to stuff them most of the time.
And so indeed they are, as they only allowed 13 points in their opening win. a third down. Trip receivers down the bottom. Roberts
under
scrambling in
pressure.
the pocket, and it's fumbled and is recovered by the Knights. And an unfortunate turn of events, as the Big Reds would have had to punt it anyway. If I'm Roberts, I would have thrown it away because I would have much rather punted it rather than have a turnover.
First of the game.
Wow, we could have something wrong with Aaron Roberts as he is
limping
off the field rather gingerly.
Knights take over 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the Parkersburg
So
40.
first Lance Hoyler, who I have not heard anything about since the injury early in the game. And now Aaron Roberts, as the Big Reds might be getting rather thin at quarterback. Offset I formation. Play action fake. The ball is thrown and caught
Had it passed, complete to Farley.
by Lowell Farley.
Around a 7-yard gain.
And so really running backs and fullbacks and really big utility guys, they're like a quarterback's security blanket. Tight ends, big receivers that can block. If those guys can catch, that's a quarterback's best friend. It not only pads his stats, but now a run.
And it looks, he's got
And
daylight.
Matthew is gone. No doubt about it. Another score on top of that.
27-0.
Cabell Midland touchdown.
And so we are seeing a blowout. And so keep in mind, in the second half, the Big Reds will take control of the possession. And now with 8:49 to go, we still have a long way before halftime. It is now 27-0 pending the extra point that would make it 28. And so if you'll recall, the Big Reds allowed 34 points on the Brook Bruins and have already allowed almost that much. And the kick is good. 28-0 Knights as they take advantage of the fumble by Aaron Roberts. And wow, this is really gut check time in Parkersburg as Aaron Roberts seemed to be a bit shaken up. And so what were your impressions of really what happened before the drive, the fumble, and then the drive by Cabell Midland?
They obviously can capitalize on their turnovers.
Definitely. Points off of turnovers make or break a team. In this case, it has broken this Big Red seal, this team. And so now, Christopher Molina back to kick it. 2 men back deep for the Big Reds. And so deafening silence over this home crowd as you can hear the few that traveled from Cabell County. So that will be in the end zone, touchback.
Into the end zone, the automatic touchback. 1st and 10, Big Reds.
And so
at
now
20.
that the Big Reds might go for broke, what do you think they will do here? I mean, there's not a lot of things you can try. I mean, there's not a lot to lose at this point, except for the contest. But really, they've lost the battle in this first half. What do you think would work best for this team?
Go deep. It's about the only thing.
Go deep. Expert analysis, I agree. There's not a lot that you can do here. 80 yards to go for a score with that same 8:49 to go in the first half. Is now handoff. So now new quarterback in for the Parkersburg Big Reds, number 2
Flag it on initial hit, gain of 2.
for the Big Reds.
Andrew Butcher.
So Andrew Butcher, yes, is the 3rd string quarterback. And really, as a quarterback, you must be prepared because you don't know when your name is going to be called. Much like preseason football, if an injury occurs to a quarterback. So now, a handoff to Lindenmood.
Short game.
Lindenmood, the ball carrier. Cops on the stop.
And so when an injury occurs to a quarterback, in maybe an NFL preseason game, you don't know when your name is going to be called, even though most likely it'll be called in the second half. But we're not even out of the first half in this regular season contest. And so a loss here would already drop the Big Reds to 1-1 and improve the Knights' record to 2-0. I formation. Butcher takes a snap and will hand it off.
Third straight time.
Lindenmood. Yes, 3 runs in a row and gain of 2. A 4th down and 6. And now the special teams unit will come out yet again. And I honestly am at a loss for words as to what is going on.
3 straight runs.
And so the punt will be received.
We fielded by number 2.
And so he has made nothing. He has made something out of nothing as he advances the ball to about the 47-yard line. As that was David Gatos. And so, to be fair to Don Reeves, he has received his unfair share of criticism. Honestly, what is there to do at this point? Honestly, I feel as if Don Reeves really had to fill big shoes left by Bernie Buttry. And as a third-year head coach, he really has a lot to learn. So man in motion, as the quarterback will roll out, and the pass is caught.
Number 32.
And he is going all the way, and he is going all the way for a touchdown. Wait, there's a flag down.
Pass complete to Farley.
Yes, on the
stop.
end zone, the sideline rather. Thomas on the stop.
Blocking. Get it back. 10-yard penalty.
And a block in the back, and Lowell Farley's
touchdown is
big gain will not cost the Knights a touchdown, but will move the ball back
to the 17-yard line.
First and 10, Cabell Midland.
So now 1st and 10, and you hate to say it's over before it's over, especially in the first half, but things are looking rather blue. But who knows, a defensive stop, maybe rushing in the corners, maybe safeties.
Get these
And
guys
a timeout,
pumped up.
Big Reds. As that's their second charge timeout, 1 remaining in the half. Keep in mind, Cabell Midland still has 2 remaining. And so, I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. And Andrea, when do you think the right time would be for Cabell Midland to use their timeouts?
Well, not right now. They're in the red zone. Probably when the Big Reds come out on offense next.
Trying to conserve some time for another drive. And so, again, a bigger huddle than there was for the Big Reds. And so, now, since their last time out, the deficit has grown. So now, with about 2 seconds to go in this timeout, the play will resume. First down and 10 of the 17. after a block in the back. And quarterback rolls out. Will throw to Gatos, and he is not brought down. He was almost brought down initially. He has some open field and is down at the 9-yard line.
Pass complete to Gatos. Brought down by Brown.
Gatos has made it to the 9-yard line, and will be second down at 1 with about 5.5 minutes remaining in this half.
Second and short on the play.
And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm predicting another ground attack, as they will hand it off to number 32, Farley.
First and goal.
And so another update from the South Lindsley game. South 33, Lindsley 6 at the half. And so, if you'll recall, South had a 42-28 victory over the Ripley Vikings, called by our very own Brandon Galisi and Mackenzie Steed. So now a first down and goal to 5.
And they will score.
And Matthew, another touchdown.
34-0.
34-0, and pending the extra point will make it 35. Snap good, kick up and good. A perfect 7 for 7 on PATs. And now, after another short drive, yet another touchdown. And wow, Williamstown single A football is losing to Magnolia 17-0. Williamstown, a major powerhouse in single A football. That is shocking. That is shocking. I'm not sure if they're at home or on the road. And I mean, it's a road game regardless, but still, Magnolia having a great showing there. 17-0 at the half. And so, that is a bit of a shocker. Wow, and so we will receive more scores at the half and keep you posted on that shutout.
As Cabell Middleton prepares to kick off again.
So it will be back in the end zone for a touchback. And so, what are your expectations for this deflated Big Red offense as they take the field again?
I think they're just trying to get it to the half.
Yes, trying to minimize damage. They have one timeout to work with. Surely they will not take that to the locker room. And it looks like Aaron Roberts is back in. As he will throw, and that's tipped by number 35. Justin Leggett. And that is the second pass by Roberts that has been tipped in that manner. And so now a second down and 10. And you've got to applaud the Big Reds for not completely laying down. So now, next play, Roberts rolls out. He will fire on the run, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Daniel Fox. So now with 4:18 to go in the half. Again, I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. An absolutely abysmal showing for the Parkersburg High School Big Reds in front of their home crowd. So now a spread offense here.
Roberts will draw back and is caught by number 1
Daniel Fox. And so I noticed Cabell Midland, they were not lax in their coverage. They are really tightening up their pass defense. And so they only rushed 3 at the quarterback. Wow, they are very versatile in the playbook, because they are throwing just about anything and everything at this experienced Big Red offense. I formation for the Big Reds. Rush is coming. Handoff to Hamilton.
And he's got daylight.
The 30, 25, and brought down at the 21-yard line.
By number 22.
And it will be officially marked inside the
Cameron
21 to the
Stapleton.
20. Yes, Cameron Stapleton on the stop. And they will look where to spot it, and it appears it is inside the 21 at the 20, 20 and a half.
First and 10, Big Reds. Ball spotted just outside the Cabell Midland 20.
And so another I formation with Hamilton.
Big Red fans got something to cheer about.
And now Hamilton's now the lone man. Handoff to number 40. No.
Burnett's ball carrier.
Burdett is the ball carrier, excuse me, as he will be brought down after a loss of 1. And so you've got to applaud this effort, as Parkersburg is mixing up their play selection a bit, trying to catch this Cabell Midland defense off guard here. And so yet again another, looks like offset I formation.
Play action.
And
And
that
it is
ball's
tipped. Oh,
And McCoy broken up.
that pass was intended for
Fullback on
McCoy.
recovery.
Broken up by number 22, Cameron Stapleton. That is not the first time his name has been called tonight, and he almost had reservations for 6, as that would have been a devastating blow. So now after that near mistake, it's now 3rd down and 11. Hamilton in the backfield. Roberts throws, and it is thrown behind the intended receiver.
Pass intended for McCoy.
And McCoy was the intended receiver. Stapleton again, a shutdown safety. As the timing was a bit off,
Cody Roney.
and Cody Roney will have his name called.
field goal attempt. Yeah.
It looks like there's a bit of confusion. And
29
oh my, a timeout. If it is not one thing, it is another. And a timeout after the confusion by the special teams. And we talked earlier about special teams being a big part of the Big Reds regime. So now they have fallen prone to mistakes. There's not a lot to talk about except really a mirage of highlights for the visiting Cabell Midland Knights. With 2:37 to go. So really there's a lot of stunned silence And what do you think of this, Andrea?
Really, it's been a really messy game for both teams with the penalties and the miscommunications.
So now Roney will be awaiting his chance to kick. As heck, this might just ice the kicker. Snap down, kick up, and finally points on the board as that is straight through. A perfect kick from Cody Roney, the senior kicker, finally adding points on the board. 35-3. With 2 minutes and 31 seconds in the half. I'm Josh Hughes alongside Lauren O'Brien. Andrea, that is awkward. That is awkward. Wow. Andrea, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Wow, I don't know if it's something going on the field, but I just can't seem to get names right. Oh, goodness. Andrea O'Brien. Oh, goodness. And so finally there's something to cheer about, but obviously my remembrance of names is not one of those things. Oh my goodness, I am sorry.
All good. I'm probably worse.
And now Roney will kick off for the first time in a while for the Big Reds.
They can kick off out of bounds.
And so, the kickoff is out of bounds.
And it'll be
And illegal procedure.
Cabell Midland on the 40.
Cabell Midland, 40-yard line. That is tough to swallow. Another miscue by these special teams. And if you will recall, Parkersburg is now out of timeouts after that last blunder.
At their own 35.
And so, Cabell Midland coming out looking for another scoring drive. So, I formation. Quarterback rolls out. He throws it into coverage with a tight window, and that pass is incomplete.
It was almost caught by number 84.
Pass intended.
Nathaniel Moore, who, if you'll recall, picked up a fumble after a long reception by David Gatos. So now it will be second down and 10 at the 35-yard line with just 2 minutes and 25 seconds to work with man in motion. Looks like Gatos. Quarterback scrambling. He will take off and run.
And be brought down around
He is brought down by Lindemood.
Headed the ball carrier. Brought down by Lindemood.
43-yard line.
Pettit looks to be a yard short at about the 43-yard line.
Speed of 8.
And so you know you're doing something right if you can create a lane for your quarterback and get his presence felt in the game. Handoff now.
And it would be enough for a first down.
Front of the ball carrier. Brought down by Midland.
And yes, Marley have a first down. As the chain gang is on his feet again.
First and 10, Cabell Midland. Ball spotted at their own 46.
Ball on the 46-yard line. A fresh set of downs. As Pettit will throw.
And it
it's
is
picked off.
intercepted.
Hamilton at the 50, 45, 40-yard line to the 39. And finally, the defensive adjustment works.
On the interception to the Big Reds.
And so maybe if Parkersburg High School is to get back in this game, one more good scoring drive is what it will take. Perhaps a touchdown this time around, as they were forced to kick a field goal. So Roberts Fox one over.
Caught by Daniel
Pass
Fox.
complete to Daniel Fox.
Fox and now at the 25-yard line.
First
Things
down.
are finally moving. It is indeed a first
Good
down.
McClung on the stop. That winning number to 50-50, 838-907. 838-907.
And so with no timeouts remaining, a minute and a half and counting down for the Big Reds, as they are probably in no need to hurry as they have plenty of time. Roberts will roll out to his left, and that pass is left too short for the intended receiver, as Thomas had no chance of hauling that in. And so it's really a tale of two types of a quarterback. Aaron Roberts, it's really a learning process as this is only his second start. He really was not a big force in the win over Brook, but this is valuable playing time. So now shotgun formation. Hamilton to Roberts' side. Snap is low. Roberts controls it. Screen pass to Hamilton and loss of about 5 yards. What did you see there?
It looks like somebody missed a blocking assignment.
Official time.
And so an official's timeout. As that stoppage of play might be just what the Big Reds needed with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go as play will resume. The ball now on the 30-yard line. Roberts will receive the pass. Low, and it's buffed. Picked up. And it is fumbled. The Knights are saying it's fumbled, and they do indeed have it. Another turnover. And really the difference between the Big Red style of playing and the Knights style of playing, the Knights were able to capitalize on their opponent's mistakes. And after an interception by Chandler Hamilton, hopes of a scoring drive are deflated. And now the Cabell Midland Knights will take over. And what do you expect the Knights will do here? Perhaps knee it?
Need or run. There's not much time left.
They do have 2 timeouts, but they are in a low back formation. Pettit rears back and throws the ball way out of bounds. Looked like it was intended
Pass goes out of bounds.
for either Gatos or Matthews. I could not quite tell. But nonetheless, it is 2nd down and 10 with only 39 seconds remaining. And so now, refreshing on the score, 35-3. As the visiting Cabell Midland Knights are taking control of this. A nice run by Stephen Matthews,
Matthews, the ball carrier.
as that seems to be a staple of their offense. And finally, the Big Reds might have an answer for it. And the clock is winding down. 20 seconds to go before halftime. Snap received by Pettit, and Pettit will throw, and it's incomplete as it just goes off the hands of the intended receiver.
Nathaniel Moore.
Cabell Midland pass broken up. 4th and 5.
And so now 4th down and 5, and the one disadvantage of throwing the ball close to the end of halftime, you give your opponents one last chance to perhaps throw a Hail Mary. And a timeout Knights. They are down to their last one.
Once again,
12 seconds remaining.
Winning number was 838-907. Winning ticket 50-50 drawing is 838-907.
And so really, what do you expect the Big Reds to do if they get the ball in decent field position? Would they throw it deep, or would they just run it to run the clock out?
say they just run the clock out. They don't want another turnover in the last few seconds of the half.
Honestly, I think you must go deep for this because, honestly, barring a pick six, there's not a lot Cabell Midland will be able to do unless they get the ball back with a minimal amount of time remaining and a good spot in the field. And so they are punting indeed. Skylar Terrell back deep to receive the punt. Snap, good kick. Down and wow, Terrell will let this roll. And they will let the clock expire. And now, at the half, 35-3, a shocker. And so, Andrea, what did you see in that first half that really stood out to you?
Well, there was a lot of penalties against Cabell Midland and their humongous rushing game.
The Fine Arts Academy of Cabell Midland High School presents the 150 members.
And so really the turnovers have plagued Parkersburg High School more so than Cabell Midland, as the Knights have clearly won the turnover battle, whether it be fumbles, botched snaps, interceptions. And so really there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the Big Reds. I am Josh Hughes, and that is, I'm going to get it right, Andrea O'Brien. And we will be back in the start of the second half. Again, your score 35-3 Knights. Coach Reeves, he's known for sometimes being a very well-spoken coach. What do you think is going through his mind?
Tonight's 50-50 drawing goes to Mr. George Johnson.
Well, he's probably shocked at the deficit.
Well, a good trait of a good coach would be really not to get completely discouraged about a deficit and really try to work with it. We've seen teams come back from deficits. Certainly a 32-point deficit is not the worst, but it is just about as bad as it can get. But it is time for some big plays and some big enthusiasm, as the Big Reds need to come out and just, for lack of a better phrase, they need to come out on fire. They need to have a passion,
Get some momentum going.
heart in their defense, offense, no more mistakes. I mean, it's just the fundamentals that they teach you in Pee Wee. I mean, at times people can say that football is a very complex sport, but at other times it comes down to the fundamentals, and really, that's just the long and the short of it. Parkersburg deferred to receive to the second half as Christopher Molina will kick off. And Skylar Terrell back deep. All but one of his kicks has gone in the end zone. And it will be. And a bit of some tomfoolery going on as the ball is tossed out of the end zone, trying to salvage something, but that did not work, as the Big Reds will set up shop at the 20-yard line. And so we said that the Big Reds would be more prone to throw. And so now, with the ball at the 20-yard line, a long field, a fresh clock to start off this half. Here's Roberts. And it looks like an I formation. Rush looks like it's coming. It is. Pass rush. Screen pass dumped off.
And tripped. Tripped up.
Corey Burdett is, yes, tripped up at about the 19, the 20-yard line. Wow. Out of all the things that you would expect out of a team that is very much down in a game, you wouldn't expect to see a screen pass on the flats to be your very first option. I don't understand it, but really, you know you have great runners. Why not utilize that and throw deep down the field, and they could probably catch up to a ball. As now, the carry will go to Adam Lindemood.
He gets a good gain out of that.
And he gets halfway there. Gain of 5, down to the 25.
Ball spotted at their own 35. Correction, their own 25.
And so many people might say a screen pass or something of that variety might work for other teams, but Parkersburg has been down before in years past and in games past, but in a foreign situation like this where they're down 32, that might not be the correct choice. The screen pass is brought in by Skylar Terrell. That spread offense could prove to be deadly, and that will move the chains.
First and 10 for the Big Reds.
And so now it is just a matter of really working the ball down the field, maybe in small increments, but you should at least try to throw those sticks and at least attempt to get the first down.
Something going.
And so now Roberts with a back
He will hand off
to Lindemood, and he will be slung around to the 40.
It looks like, I know he was.
Hayes on the stop.
And Hayes is on the stop, and a bit of confusion,
About 8 on the play.
and a gain of 8.
Second 2 for the Big Reds.
Second down and 2 at the 40.
Ball spotted at the Parkersburg 40-yard line.
Finally, they are able to get something going. What do you make of this?
Well, they can get some momentum going. Maybe they can come back late in the game, fourth quarter.
And so Roberts takes the snap. He will roll out, and he runs out of bounds. That is a foolish play. I would have expected him to throw it out of bounds. That's a sign of a quarterback that is very intimidated, running away and losing. Actually, no, gaining only 2 yards.
And about 4 off the Big Reds 38.
But I did not expect to see that. So now third down and 4. Lindemood in the backfield, another spread set here for the Big Reds. Roberts in the pocket. He throws a diving attempt, and it is incomplete.
Brings up fourth down.
Intended for McCoy. And so now that will bring up fourth down and 4, and Cameron McCoy. That is sort of like a pass that we saw earlier in the first half. And so now we have another update from the South Lindsley game. It is a 33-13 in favor of the Patriots. And so things are going great for the rivals across the river. And so now in the punt formation. That is kicked and will be fielded at about 23.
And pick back up.
And wow, it seems like everything is going the way of the Knights.
First and 10, Cabell Midland.
There's really not a lot to say. I mean, a muffed punt, and they get right on it. But nevertheless, it will be first down at 28. And so, Andrea, you said that the Knights would be more conservative with their play calling. Maybe we will be able to see a little bit of that here, as it will be their first drive. That drive for Parkersburg lasts about 2.5 minutes.
And they hand off.
And an explosion up the middle.
And he's gone.
He's going 30, 25, cutting back 20. And a flag at the 20-yard line, and he's finally brought down
Around the 10-yard
around
line.
the 10-yard line. And the ball carrier was number 32,
Farley.
Lowell Farley. So might be a face mask or
A block. Hit it back.
and a block on the back. And the second
10 yards for the spot foul. Still on me. First down.
and the second block in the back penalty.
First and 10 for Cabell Midland.
And
The ball spotted at the Big Reds 33.
first down now at the 33. That is about where the penalty occurred. So now at the 33-yard line. Tough spot here for this defense. And this is definitely good practice for them, if you could even call it that. And ball's handed off.
Bring down
He is brought down.
in the back. Yeah.
And it looked like by Adam Lindemuth. But this is certainly good practice for maybe Marietta. Bit of an easier opponent in years past. But really, you've got to think about scouting and really reviewing and practicing. And I don't know, maybe the Tigers would be able to give Parkersburg an unexpected surprise, but you've got to think that this is kind of good practice, man in motion. And a screen pass dumped out,
So number 84.
and it is dumped out to Nathaniel Moore. And that is more than enough to get to the 20-yard line in the red zone again. First down. And so as I look above me, not a lot of people have even made their way to the exits, even though there are 8 minutes remaining in this third.
Ball spotted at the Big Reds 21.
But you've got to be thinking that there's a lot of shock going on for Big Red Nation. And so, man in motion again. The ball is handed off to
Farley, the ball
number
carrier.
32, Lowell Farley again, as they're giving
Stacked up.
the Big Reds heavy
middle Big Red
doses
line.
of the Big Beck.
Gain of 3.
A
Second
3-yard gain, second down and 7 at about the 17, 18-yard line. And so now they are indeed being very conservative, but they are getting their big runs and big spurts. So really, they're able to piece together scoring drives easily. Ball's handed off. It is stretched out by Stephen Matthews.
Gatos, the ball carrier.
No, it is Gatos, the ball carrier, excuse me. And so, third down and short of the 12, and Chandler Hamilton is on the stop. And right now, Ray, you would think that the Big Reds would get substitutions and really get their younger players in there, but the problem is they do have younger players in there due to injuries. How big of an impact do you think that's made, the injuries?
Well, the younger players, they're going to make more mistakes, and we expect that. Probably had a big impact on how this game is going.
And so Pettit will hand it off to Matthews, and Matthews will stretch it out to the other
Matthews, ball
sideline
carrier.
and make it to the 10-yard line, 4-yard line, excuse me. The scoreboard did not change for a minute. So at the 4-yard line, it is now first and goal at the 4
First and goal.
with
At the 4-yard
6:19 and counting remaining in this third quarter. And well, this third quarter has been much faster without the silly mistakes, really, or penalties, except for one in this quarter. Pettit rolls out, looking, firing, and a
Caught.
touchdown to
So-
Nathaniel Moore.
That's
It's
complete to
just an
Nathaniel Moore.
astounding display of offense.
Touchdown.
41-3, pending the extra point. And so, one thing good you can take out of this would be maybe getting some practice reps for the younger players, not the ones that are already on the field. Extra point is up and good. Barely. But what else could you take out of this if you were a Big Red fan, rather than starting younger players?
We have a lot to improve on, obviously.
I mean, we definitely do. I was expecting an explosion of offense after a bit of a shortcoming against Spring Valley. But wow, they have doubled their output from the game before. And with 5:57 to go in the third quarter, I have a feeling that the scoring is far from over, as Terrell and Hamilton will be back deep.
One has become a familiar set.
Yes, it has. So now here's the kickoff. Deep, and finally a return. We'll take it at the
Brought down around the 23, 24-yard line.
Skylar Terrell has really shined. But obviously going to be a losing effort. But really, he has been most of what you can cheer about. Making good plays when they count. Also, you can say that for Chandler Hamilton.
Downing 2 balls and making an interception.
Definitely. It's just the absence of offense that has killed this team. And there are definitely things to work on for the offensive line, as Roberts will take the snap. A pass rush, a blitz, as Adam Lindemood will take it to the 32, a 7-yard gain. And so what do you think of their strategy so far, Andrea?
Definitely a lot more running than I'd expect out of them, being down so far in the second half.
And honestly, I'm not sure why they have Adam Lindemood in the ball game. Maybe they would sit him in the fourth quarter because it being too late and out of reach, but you just never know. So Roberts will hand off to Hamilton, and he will get spun around and dropped.
There's a flag on the play.
Flag on the play, looks like. So we will see what this penalty is. We are still awaiting confirmation here.
Personal foul on the defense, 15-yard penalty.
And a dead ball personal foul. And now another update from the South game is they're beating up on their opponent now by 2 touchdowns with a score of 33-19. Williamstown continues to be handled by Magnolia as well, as those 2 games are big ones to watch around the area. And so under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Roberts is now in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers out wide. He'll take the snap. He'll look around, firing deep. And Fox is shoved out of bounds.
Pass out of bounds intended for
That-
Fox.
You could blame that on the quarterback, but you could also blame it on the receiver. Just not the right ball placement. Fox just simply ran out of real estate and had to go out of bounds.
I thought he looked like he was shoved out of bounds, though.
I mean, he did. I mean, sometimes you will get that as pass interference, but other times it will just be some bad luck as Lindemuth is in the backfield. He will get the ball, and he will try to truck his way over.
Looks like no gain.
So now it'll be 3rd down and 10. And so what a boost this must be for the Cabell Midland Knights. I mean, both teams coming into this thing
Undefeated, 1-0.
and the Knights were not messing around when they came to Stadium Field. And so really, now's the time for Parkersburg to really salvage what they have and really start getting serious. And wow, that ball is overthrown into dangerous coverage.
Pass intended for Thomas.
And that pass was intended for Thomas as well. And so now a 4th down and 11. And so really, there's not a lot to get fired up about, but honestly, I mean, the Big Reds have great supporters and they can really fire up their team and really get something stirring within their team. And a timeout, Parkersburg. And Coach Reeves wants to talk it over with his team.
Trying to get something going.
So, I mean, if they're trying to get something going, I don't understand why they would
Run.
call a timeout on a punt, except if the play clock was running down.
Yeah.
I did not happen to be looking at the play clock at that moment. But it's a very tough situation as that is the first charged timeout for the Big Reds this half. And so they will come out in another punt formation. And wow, the play clock will be reset this time. And so here we go. The snap. Good kick. Oh, it's blocked.
Oh!
And it's misplaced.
Looks like
At the 30-yard line.
recovered by Big Reds.
And it was only a matter of time until that occurred because, wow. And they are giving it to Midland for some reason. That is shocking. That's shocking.
Looked muffed. Yes.
You could definitely make the argument that whoever blocked the ball for Cabell Midland had possession and then fumbled, which would mean a fresh set of downs for the Big Reds. Wow, that is unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. And now, after that turn of events, man in motion, Pettit looking, firing, and that ball is incomplete. And now at the 30-yard line. What is your opinion on this, Andrea? I can't believe it.
I honestly thought it was going the other way.
He definitely had possession because he was running, he took steps, and then he fumbled. And it looked like it was recovered by Corey Burdett. And there are only some things that can go completely wrong for you in a game of football. But this is just not a good situation.
Wow.
Lone back set, Pettit looking, fires.
Was overthrown, intended for number 45.
And so Brooks Gillespie, the tight end, the first time he has been targeted all game, looked like he fell down. And so now Nathaniel Moore coming in for the Knights. 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter of action. No more scoring. has really been done, except for one touchdown. Man in motion. Pettit will have an end around as, wow, number 2, David Gatos hurdles over a defender, and now there's a flag on the play. Might be a block in the back or a holding call, what we've seen earlier. So we will wait for confirmation from our officials as they're talking this over. So, Andrea, what has been your impression of this third quarter as the Big Reds have really buckled down on defense, only allowing one touchdown?
Well, adjustments have obviously been made since the first half.
Oh, and an unsportsmanlike conduct. Just about everything in the book has been called tonight. And well, you're up by 39 with 3:19 to go.
Wow.
I mean, it's basically icing on the cake at this point.
Why?
Late in the third quarter. And exactly why do you need to, I don't know, be a bad sport? I mean, I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything, but something must have happened in order for that to have been called, so I don't understand. So things have been getting very chippy and very intense. But I mean, that's just the nature of football. Gatos in motion. Pettit will have time. He scrambles out of the pocket and he is slung down.
Sacked.
He is slung down, rather.
By number 23.
And it looks like he was slow to get up at first.
Looks like 23.
And so,
oh,
fourth down. Now, if I'm reading this right, 29 at the 50-yard line. And apparently, I am reading that right. But wow, that is shocking. How much they have moved the ball in this game.
penalties.
And so, wow, that
Low snap. Looked like it hit the ground.
and this will be a good one as it is coffin cornered and downed at about
Inside
the
the 5.
4-yard line, 3-yard line, with 2:04 remaining in the third quarter. I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. And needless to say, this has been shocking. You really look at Parkersburg High School over the years and what they've been able to do in their first few opening games. I mean, if you look back at 2006 and 2007, winning 2 consecutive state championships for the first time in that school's history, going a combined 19-1 in that run in the regular season. This is shocking for their first home game. So it looks like there might be a blitz coming, and there is. And so a big hole opens up. And a first down as it looked like Lindemood was the ball carrier.
Runs to about the 18-yard line.
And he was. And a 15-yard gain for a Big Reds first down.
Gain of 15 on the play. First and 10 for the Big Reds. Ball spotted.
So now a first down under 2 minutes to go. 1:43 and counting remaining. The Big Reds have 2 timeouts remaining. I don't know when they would want to use them, but they certainly still have them. Man in motion.
Whoa.
As is tossed to Fox. And Fox is tripped up at the 25-yard line.
Fox, the ball carrier.
And so with that,
Shoulders on the stop.
the second down and 2 at the 26. And wow, major breaking football action from the world of single A. Williamstown and Magnolia have now been tied at 17 apiece. And wow, this
Talk
is
about a comeback.
interesting. And yes, it is a comeback. And meanwhile, a rush coming, and there is. Lindemood had a bit of a hole to run through, but
Number 21, Adam Lindemood,
couldn't
the
get
ball
anything.
carrier.
And a bit of a mistake from the
Gain of 2.
World Wide Web.
First and 10 for the Big Reds.
The score is not 17-17, it is 17-7 in favor of Magnolia. We apologize for the inconvenience, but still it's nice to see that a team is coming back slowly but surely. It's now under 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Offense spread out wide. The snap was high. Roberts controls it, and it's tipped down.
Almost intercepted by number
Pass
13.
Pass broken up by Cox. Second down.
But
And
Joshua,
so Joshua Cox. Just an outstanding play. 16 seconds remaining in the quarter. So now, I think it is pretty safe to say that any hope of a comeback would be pretty futile, but there's still a lot to take away from this game. Like any players that impressed you or anything of that nature. And so there was movement along the line. Looks like a false start.
Encroachment.
And
yeah,
encroachment.
it looked like the defense moved
Repeat
first.
second down.
As it looked like the defensive lineman tried getting the offense to flinch, but it did not work. And that is the first penalty called
It's now second and 5 for the Big
since
Reds.
the
Ball around
unsportsmanlike
33.
conduct. So now it is second down and 5. Clock is winding down. Under 10 seconds to go. They will snap the ball. This will probably be the last play. And Lindemood is upended. And that should end the quarter. Your score, Parkersburg High School 42 in favor of Cabell Midland, I should say. Cabell Midland 42, Parkersburg High School 3. I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. And this is shocking.
Despite the huge deficit, it's a very, very sloppy game.
And it was definitely a sloppy game as Parkersburg had 10 penalties, 55 yards. That would be enough to drive any coach crazy. Needless to say, any penalty would drive any coach crazy. So there's still a lot to work on. This is definitely not the end. 8 more games, continuing with a trip to Marietta. And so the end of the third quarter. Still some of the fans are still here. Some empty seats now, but you've got to applaud their sportsmanship. Those who stayed and are rooting on their Big Reds until the end. The rest of the Parkersburg High School schedule after Marietta will be a home game against Huntington at St. Albans, and then returning home to face Riverside, and then the big rivalry game against South, then Beckley Woodrow Wilson, and then getting back to that as there is a big hole.
Pass complete to Daniel Cox.
And
Wow.
Daniel Cox will get a big first down. And then continuing with the schedule, their 9th game
On the play. First and 10
at
for the Big
South
Reds.
Charleston, and then the closer
Ball at their own 48.
against GW. So now with that long reception, the ball is now set up at the 48-yard line, 52 yards to go until 6. 11 and a half minutes remaining in regulation. Shotgun formation.
Caught by
Fox again.
Pass complete to Fox.
And Daniel Fox, really over the years, he could progress to be a bit of a threat. I mean, historically over the last
Second and 5.
10 years, more so,
48.
more than 10 years. Parkersburg has been majorly a running team. And so, I mean, this could really open up their horizon for a bit of a passing arsenal. And so, second down, second down, yes, second down, and 6.
Little play action.
Play action caught by Terrell, first down at the 44.
Pass complete. Number 38, Skylar Carroll.
And they've still got their starters in.
Yes, they do, and I don't understand.
As
I
much
mean-
problems that they've had with injuries.
Maybe they're just wanting to get what they can out of their starters and figure out what they need to do. As we see the skyline over Parkersburg. As this game is winding down, I formation. Handed off to Hamilton, and he was initially tripped up, but then made it to the 44-yard line.
Fourth quarter special at your
Close.
concession stands. Half price,
They're gonna.
hot dogs, pretzels, pork barbecue. At your fourth quarter special tonight.
So
at
really, if you
concession
look at
stand.
what this Cabell Midland team has been accomplishing, this looks like a state champion effort. I'm not kidding. This running attack combined with this defense is that of Parkersburg's in 06 and in 07. A quarterback sneak is that will probably move the chains and will. At the 42-yard line, a 2-yard gain. Clock stops at 10 minutes on the dot. And
Officials time for a measurement.
officials timeout for a measurement. Certainly looked like he made it. And we will see. And he definitely did.
That's a big red first down.
By more than a length of a football, he made
Yes.
First and 10 for the Big Reds. Ball spotted.
it.
At the Cabell
So
Midland
10 minutes
42.
remaining, and Andrea, what would you like to see in the last 10 minutes and
I
winding down?
Well, they're over midfield. I'd probably like to see them at least try to score.
So the handoff goes to Hamilton, and he regains his balance and gets a first down.
For 32, Chandler Hamilton, the ball carrier.
Maybe about an 11-yard gain, 9-yard gain actually. That'll be second down and short. So 9.5 minutes remaining. And needless to say, this game has been lackluster of
Ball to Cabell Midland
defense.
33.
If you're talking about the Big Reds.
Yes. And a lack of offense.
So now they keep going with the spread offense as Parkersburg South is running the exact same thing, and it seems to be working for Tyler Bolin in that offense. An option as it will be pitched to Lindemood.
And he breaks
He
a
will
tackle.
regain balance, and Lindemood is still on his feet at the 5. Touchdown! And that was perfect timing. And the option pitch looked like it was dreadful from the start. Well, wow, if you
He's
have,
gonna get tripped in the backfield.
if you are built like Adam Lindemood, just like his brothers,
33
good things will happen.
He broke like 5 tackles.
His goal was to become first team All-State, just like his brothers. And he was, and he will be. So, I mean, if you have someone who's probably 90-95% of your offense, such as him, as Roney will kick the extra point and make it, it really does wonders for your offense. And so now the score being 42-10 in favor of the Knights. And so that might have been a play of a game
For
for the Parkersburg Big Reds. And speaking of which, what plays have really stood out?
the 98-yard rush when Chandler Hamilton downed that punt beginning of the game.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw it coming, the way that the defensive linemen were stretched out. They weren't bunched in like they were going to rush, but they were spread out just enough so every offensive lineman could get a defensive lineman. And really, whenever you do that, there were multiple defensive linemen on one offensive lineman, which created a hole, and he shot up through it. And again, I believe that score was by Lowell Farley. Roney is on for the kick. So 8:46 to go. Here it is. So this one will be returned at about the 2-yard line.
And he is.
And he's tripped up. And that is David Gatos.
Tipped up by McCoy.
Around the 30.
First and 10, Cabell Midland.
37.
Ball spotted at their own 31.
32-yard.
And that was a nice piece of running. And Gators might have had 6 had there not been a man trip him up in the end zone. And now a finalist, Parkersburg South, is victorious 33-19 over their opponents. And a nice game, I'm being told by the Patriots, as they will look to improve to 2-0. It's really setting the stage for a nice river rivalry. He's down by Dylan Thomas. And so really with both teams at times firing on all cylinders, Parkersburg South and PHS, it's still a long time to go. And wow, quarterback is drilled.
Sacked.
And so with both teams at times firing on all cylinders, this is really setting the stage for a good game. And obviously there's time to improve. And there's still more time to improve for George Washington as well, as they'll be traveling on the road there. But I think in order to improve, they've got to be healthy. They have absolutely got to be healthy. Coach Reeves said in the postgame of the Brook game that he was starting 5 more sophomores than he usually does. Quarterback rolls out, and it's picked off.
Intercepted by Daniel Fox.
And now Fox is going to make it to the 43-yard line, and finally more fight out of his team.
2 interceptions for the Big Reds in this game.
The Big Reds had 1 interception in the victory over Brook by Skylar Terrell. And I find it kind of odd that in a blowout like this, that you would have more of a defensive presence like this. But it's just the wrong place to really step up. Wrong time, actually. And an official's timeout. And what I mean by that
Play resumes, first and 10 for the Big
is
Reds.
they could have done this earlier. They could have got out of a hole earlier. And the reason why it's the wrong time, obviously there's no wrong time to make a good play. But what I mean is...
Doesn't look like there's time to come back.
Exactly. So now, fans kind of being optimistic at this point. And the ball will go to Lindemood, as he has definitely been carrying the workload for the Big Reds. Second down.
Scholar on the stop. Big Red Athletic Department would like to make a special thank you to all the wonderful supporters.
And so really, Andrea, with the Hall of Fame enshrinements and the home opener and everything, this has really been a disappointment.
Yes.
But the Big Reds will see better days, that is certain. Shotgun formation, quarterback rolls out to his left. He fires, and it is overthrown.
Pass intended for Terrell.
As Skylar Terrell is the intended receiver. And Aaron Roberts really needs more time to progress. He was really thrown to the wolves here in this situation, only making his second start. And it is a lot to ask for a backup quarterback, a young backup quarterback, to make this transition to starter. So now, one man in the backfield, that is Lindemood, and he will receive the ball again, and he is stood up.
No gain.
And now 4th and 9, and now this play calling is getting a bit repetitive. Honestly, a bit repetitive
4th and 9 for the Big Reds.
is a bit of
44.
an under-exaggeration. I've seen my fair share of questionable calling.
Running the ball on 3rd and long,
And they will go for it on 4th and 10. They've really put themselves in a bad situation. And honestly, 4 men running at the quarterback, and he will throw.
and it is overthrown.
Overthrown. And even had it even been down, he would have had to have caught it behind him. So Terrell cannot make the catch.
Next Friday night,
And a turnover on downs.
Big Reds take on the Tigers. Tip off 7:30.
So now, with the offense of the Knights taking over at the 44-yard line, this is really not a change of pace with 6:23 remaining. But certainly, this is a great momentous point for the Knights.
Good run,
Gibson, the ball carrier.
It's a
but
nice
12-yard
run.
gain.
And so really, there's a lot to look forward to in this last little bit of a game.
First and 10,
And so
Cabell Midland.
you've got to think there are better days coming for this team. It's certainly not over at this point, season-wise, and there's a lot to look forward to. There's still 8 more games of hard-hitting action. So now, first down at the 45. And the ball is handed off. And the carrier is tripped up.
26, Trey Martin, the ball carrier.
26. Trey Martin.
Gave about 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. Brought the Big Reds 43.
And I mean, with all this risky running and occasional passing, maybe they're looking for a turnover or something that would really.
Oh, and a 15 or 16-yard gain on the
And the
pass.
secondary, it's like a Swiss cheese defense.
More.
Really,
Bussey and Woodard on
the
the
secondary being out of position, being really not much you can do there, as there's a man in front and behind of the receiver. As a quarterback, you've really got to know when and where to throw it into the tight windows, and that's a really good trait of a victorious quarterback. As Theodore Pettit will pick up the win. The ball is handed off,
And it's
and it is gone.
touchdown. Cabell
Cabell Midland.
Hit for the Cabell Midland touchdown.
And it will be
And now number 33,
48.
Isaac Gibson.
10.
Isaac Gibson making his first appearance in the end zone. And wow, everyone has scored. If there's been a
7
definition of a team effort, this is definitely it.
7 touchdowns for this offense.
Well, let's not forget the turnovers that set up these touchdowns. And really, it has definitely been a collective effort. And so now the extra point. Snap high, kick up, and good. And
40.
so with that, 4:47 remaining in regulation, your score is 49-3. The Cabell Midland Knights on top. And so now as people begin to file out of Stadium Field. What plays have stood out to you in that drive?
Well, the pass for the 16-yard gain and definitely the touchdown run.
Oh, definitely, and I think it's very indicative of the defensive line being held up by the offensive line. That's been an external battle the entire game. Honestly, Parkersburg needs more help defensively, possibly putting up their corners and safeties to help out the defensive line that has really been struggling. Skylar Terrell and Chandler Hamilton, just to name a couple of defenders, could really make their presences felt. As now there will be another kickoff. 49-10 here, this contest. As Hamilton and Terrell are back deep. So now Christopher Molina kicking off. And here we go. That ball is going to be taken at the 1 by Skylar Terrell.
And he's
Terrell's
breaking
got a hold.
He's got
And he's tripped up. Oh no.
around the 34-yard line.
And we almost had something to scream about. Oh my goodness.
That was close.
Wow.
He's about to break.
Elvis Riddle making the stop. A shoestring tackle that saved 6. Wow, that was electrifying. And so a 33-yard return to set it up at the 34. Wow, if there's something to get pumped about, that's it. Skylar Terrell has really made an impact. I believe he is the Big Red's leader in tackles in the game tonight. And I believe he was in last week's game, as Roberts will take the ball.
Oh.
And is dropped by the intended receiver, as Fox thought he was going to get drilled and simply dropped the ball. And so now a second down with 4.5 minutes remaining. And this style of play is really not indicative of the Big Reds as a whole. They've had their struggles in the past couple of years ever since their title runs. But they can rebound, and they definitely will rebound. That's not expert analysis, but it's the closest thing to some
Pass complete to Fox.
To some encouragement as the pass is complete to
Daniel
Fox.
Gain of about 8 on the play. Third down.
A gain of 8, and Daniel Fox has really filled in nicely for the empty slots at receiver.
3rd and short.
3rd and 2. And really to conserve time, even though it's not really a concern here, they might want to go to the sidelines to really give themselves a breather as well, as that's a slant pass kneeled down by Fox, and that will be a first down, as that is a smart play to kneel that down out of bounds, stop the clock, and get yourselves regrouped. Oh, he stopped short, as it's 4th and 2, and I don't quite understand.
That looks like a bad spot. Thought he was.
But a spread offense. There might be running room up at the top. So Roberts will throw to Fox again, and it is complete at the 45. As
complete, number 1, Daniel Fox.
Daniel Fox has really carried the workload as a receiver. Andrea, your thoughts on which Big Red player has really left an indelible mark on this game?
Well, there are quite a few, as you said. Terrell and Hamilton and Daniel Fox.
Definitely Daniel Fox, a name that really was not known before these injuries. And here's Roberts rolling out. He's being pursued. He's going to run to the 45, to the 43, and a first down. And so Aaron Roberts finally showing off the power of his legs, and a gain of 12, a first down at the 45, under 3.5 minutes to go. And finally, the Big Reds have something
Going
incredible
for them.
And so this is really a tough call. I mean, there are so many great role players here. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's one main leader. There are a lot of role players as Roberts will get the screen and it will be dropped
by number 21.
Adam Lindemood. And really, if you're looking for a leader, Adam Lindemood is a big leader on that offense, but you can make the case that a lot of different players, whether it be special teams, offensive line, defense, other positions,
contributed to this game.
Definitely, even though only 10 points were put up on the board. There are a lot of potential leaders on this team that could really bode well for the future of Big Red football. So now Roberts looking, he'll sling it to Fox. Fox will make it to the 40. He's got some running room.
How many catches has he had on this drive?
And I believe that is about his 5th catch on this drive, and I'm not sure why he didn't cut it upfield to get more. But nevertheless, that is good for a first down with under 3 minutes to go. And so with this loss, the Big Reds will drop to 1-1 on the early season. The Cabell Midland Knights will improve to an impressive 2-0. As Roberts, the gun, take this. He slings it to, I believe, Fox again.
Pass complete to Daniel Fox.
Caught, I didn't think it was. It was low, came in low.
And looks like
he's at least had 5 catches on this drive.
a 5-yard gain. So they had to get confirmation on that. 5-yard gain, 27-yard line of Cabell Midland for the Big Reds.
It's definitely Robert's favorite target on this drive.
And so a spread offense again. That is the most exciting offense I can think of at the moment because it's working. A pump fake. He goes deep for Fox and he's gone! He dropped the ball! He drops the ball. All the crucial catches he has made in this drive.
And he
drops
it.
A spectacular play by Aaron Roberts, the pump fake, which even faked out me.
Oh, I thought.
And Daniel Fox is injured in the corner of the end zone. Wow. Wow. Oh, no.
Looks like he got his leg. Something wrong with his leg. He's scooting off the field.
And he is scooting off the field. Wow. And
this is
Coach Ryan Ludolph is coming in, trying
absolutely
to check on
horrible.
it. And so with 2:07 to go in this, that is a main reason why you should rest your impact players. But I understand that it's valuable experience that Daniel Fox needed as they're checking on him as he scooted to the sideline. Looked like a nasty fall, I believe, on his leg. He was up, but not walking off on his own power. And so now we resume play after the dropped pass by Daniel Fox. 3rd down and 5. Roberts will roll out. He will find.
Even I was faked out on that one.
He will find Lance Hoyler.
For a first
tight
down.
ends in this situation are very key players to really get a drive continuing. As the crowd, what's left of it, was cheering for Daniel Fox coming off the field and leaving. So now 1:45 and counting to go. So it will now be a first down at the 18 after a 9-yard gain.
Oh, the snap was out.
And the snap is bobbled and Roberts will fall on it.
Around the 30.
Not sure where to judge that.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, that is
That
expert
just
analysis.
takes them out of field goal range.
And that is expert analysis right there. All you can say is wow. I mean, the 36-yard line now is double the field that you had at the 36. Second down.
Second.
1 minute remaining. It looks like this might be one of the final plays of the game.
Brought to Midland 36.
And so Roberts is not giving in now as he is in the shotgun, the spread formation.
Drops back.
He has time, he looks, and
it was off target.
He's looking for Skylar Terrell, but it is incomplete, stopping the clock at about 36 seconds. And so with all these ups and downs, I'm sorry, but with all of these ups and downs, this has been absolutely astounding, the way they've been able to rally. Even though it has not translated to points, there's still things to get excited about in the future. A positive outlook on this game would be great.
They're not giving up.
Yes, but there's not a lot to say. But Roberts will take the snap. Third down and 28. He throws a screen pass for some reason.
Oh.
To
Whoa.
Lindemood, and
wow.
He might actually.
Wow.
And wow, he does make it enough for the first down. No, it is fourth down. That is a letdown. And wow. What you said, wow. That sums that play up. Wow. Now I'm saying. So, now the 15-yard line. Fourth down and 7 now. 15-yard line, and yeah, there's no shame for going for it, so they will. 22 seconds. I don't think this Cabell Midland defense is going to lay down. So now Roberts is being pursued. A nice block, and it's dropped. Oh no.
Cabell Midland takes over on downs.
Turnover on downs.
Midland, yes, will take over on downs, as they will simply knee the ball, and that will be the end of the game. And so assuming there's not anything crazy, the final score of this game will be 49-10 in favor of the Cabell Midland Knights, as they came out with a resurgence and a fire from a game against Spring Valley. And no, they floored it from the beginning, and they just went in and wowed everyone, including you multiple times.
Yes.
So 16 seconds ago, they will actually run the ball. And so now there's a mass exodus of fans
trying to beat the crowd out of here.
And that is the end. The final score, the Cabell Midland Knights 49, the Parkersburg Big Reds 10. I'm Josh Hughes alongside Andrea O'Brien. And Andrea, if you look at impact players for the Cabell Midland Knights, which one of these players really stood out to you? I mean, there are a lot.
David Gatos,
Stephen Matthews, Theodore Pettit for how much he was able to do.
Yes.
Brooks Gillespie for making some good stops.
Nathaniel Moore.
Oh yes, he was at the right place at the right time on multiple occasions. And so there are many bright days to come for both of these squads. The Big Reds will be back in action next week at Marietta. Certainly that is a good game to look forward to. But for now, a somber feeling in the crowd as this one is in the books. And really, from everything from all the festivities of Hall of Fame inductions and everyone being all
hyped up
for lack of a better term. Wow, this is
big disappointment.
A big disappointment. And now as we see the fans leaving and the band leaving and players shaking hands, I mean, this is the end, obviously, but certainly not the end on either team's season. There are a lot of things to look forward to. and it is certainly not done yet. As the Big Reds will huddle up for some prayer.
And
And so now that is basically the end. And so now the final score of 49-10. We'd like to thank our partners in education, CAS Cable, our instructor Lori Elman Wright, for everyone who ran the cameras, for my partner in crime, for me. I'm Josh Hughes saying so long from Stadium Field. Again, the final score, 49-10, Cabell Midland.